The night was not ordinary. The air above Iskar trembled, as if the sky itself were holding its breath. A full moon hung over the Gothic towers, enormous, too bright, too close. Its silver light turned the river below into liquid glass. Then the fire ignited. It didn't begin with a spark. It began with a gasp. Arienne flinched as her right palm erupted in a violent, jagged flare. For a heartbeat, the flame was savage white-hot, unstable, hungry. Then it shifted. It recognized her. The blaze tightened, condensing into a pulsing sphere. Inside it, lines of molten gold twisted into ancient runes, orbiting a core of compressed light. "This can't be real," she whispered. Her copper-red hair lashed across her face like living embers. She stared at her hand. The heat didn't burn. It felt like something long missing snapping back into place. A heartbeat returning home. Iskar was built on secrets. Beneath the palace, in chambers carved from black stone, the temperature dropped without warning. Frost crawled across the floor in branching veins. Ancient sigils buried beneath centuries of dust began to glow with a cold, sickly blue. The wardens of the seal felt it. Cracks spread through the stone as though something beneath was pressing upward. "The seal hasn't just broken," the eldest murmured, breath visible in the freezing air. "It's been claimed." The pendant against Arienne's chest, sun and moon intertwined, burned suddenly, searing through fabric and into skin. Memory struck like lightning. A woman with eyes identical to hers. A marble hall shaking under thunder. A circle of mages bracing against a storm that wasn't weather but power. When the red moon rises, the woman had shouted over the roar, "The bloodline will ignite." Arienne looked up. The moon was no longer silver. A bruised crimson stain bled across its surface, turning rooftops into black silhouettes and shadows into pools of dried blood. The city didn't feel ancient anymore. It felt exposed. A shadow flickered across a rooftop, then another. Sentinels of the Veil. Fractured silhouettes carved from smoke, moving with liquid precision. And the world was silent. The wind died mid-breath. The river froze into stillness. Even the sound of her own heartbeat vanished. A vacuum. A sentinel dropped from above, a blade of condensed darkness forming at the end of its arm, aimed directly at her throat. Arienne didn't think. She leaned into the fire. The vacuum shattered with a deep concussive boom as she released it. A shockwave of golden flame tore outward in a violent ring, slamming the sentinel into the bridge wall. Stone fractured in a web of incandescent cracks. Another shadow materialized behind her. "Focus!" the voice inside the flame commanded. Not loud, absolute. Arienne pivoted, carving a blazing arc through the night. Sparks erupted skyward like a newborn constellation over the bridge. The sentinels recoiled, their edges distorting under her unnatural heat. They had expected panic. They found resistance. Then retaliation. Silence returned. But it was different now, heavy with ozone, scorched stone, and something older. Arienne watched the last sentinel unravel into drifting ash. The flame in her hands stabilized, reshaping into a rotating sigil. Precise, controlled, deliberate. "Who am I?" she asked the night. The answer didn't come as words. It resonated through bone. Guardian of the threshold. Her bloodline stood between the human realm and the primordial current, the raw force beneath creation. The fire wasn't the weapon, it was the key. If she had awakened, the gates were no longer sealed. And something had already crossed. A sudden, cutting chill struck her back. At the northern edge of Iskar, atop the tallest forbidden tower, a green light ignited. Not fire, not flame. It pulsed, steady, geometric, precise. A cold, calculating heartbeat carved into the skyline. Frost crystallized along the shoulders of her jacket. Rival, a counterweight. Arienne exhaled, white mist curling from her lips. Fear lingered somewhere deep inside her, but it had already been buried beneath defiance. She tightened her grip on the golden sigil. Her hair burned against the darkness like a warning flare. If magic is finally waking up, a slow, dangerous smile curved her mouth. "Tell it to look me in the eye." Behind her, the crimson moon climbed higher. Across Iskarn cellars, on rooftops. Beneath the black river, the sparks continued to spread. The seals were failing. The currents were shifting. The world was beginning to burn. And Arienne was no longer just holding the match. She was becoming the flame.